valley and mountain, river and plain, through wind and storm, rides Anne of the Airlanes.
At the diamond smuggler's secret airport near Cape Town, South Africa, Anne Burton finds that the giant native Kobu, who acts as caretaker for the gang, has mistaken her for a white angel that has been sent to restore to him the power of speech he lost when the Doc wiped out his native village far to the north. Already the talking drums of the Dark Continent have carried the news far and wide, and already the natives nearby know that either the white angel must restore Kobu's speech, or Kobu and Anne will be sacrificed to the gods of silence. As the drums continue their incessant throbbing, Anne decides to make a desperate attempt to fulfill the prophecy of the witch doctor by utilizing modern medical science. She sends Joe to Cape Town with a note with instructions to get the substance she has named, and suggests that if he fails, not to return to the field, as the natives in the hills are already worked up to a fanatic frenzy. We join Anne, Jack Baker, and the smuggler Vic Morgan at the airfield.
I sure hope that you know what you're doing, Ann. It'd be bad enough to try to make a break from this place. To try to really cure that fellow and then fail. That'd be just too bad.
I know it, Jack, but there doesn't seem much of anything to do. You know that if we made a run for the ship now with Joe gone, those natives back in that jungle would be out here before we could get off the ground.
There's not a chance on earth for you to bring that fellow's voice back. Doctors can't do it, so why should you try?
I don't know that doctors can't do it, Morgan. I've seen it done before, and I think that I can at least have a chance at it. Shouldn't Joe be back here by this time?
Maybe he couldn't get the stuff that you wanted. What was it?
I'll show it to you when Joe gets back here with it.
Yeah, if he does. Now listen, beautiful. If we can make a run for the ship, we got a chance to get away from here. And if we try this and fail, we're all sunk.
And on the other hand, it seems to me that the story is that if this white angel, which these natives think is me, fails to restore Kobu's voice, Kobu and the white angel will be the ones that ought to be sacrificed. If we try to run for it without gas enough to get much of anywhere in particular and happen to fail, do you think there's a spot in Africa this side of the Sahara Desert that will be safe for us?
You're right about that, Ann. But then Joe is safe enough, and he knows enough to stay in Cape Town or to get back there if he sees he's running into trouble. There really isn't much chance that we won't be able to get at least to the Kimberley. We can pick up enough gas there to get somewhere.
Fine, Jack. Do we take Kobu along with us?
Kobu? Why, I never thought of that.
Kobu can stay here. You'd never get him to leave with us.
Then I stay. That poor fellow will suffer just because we were afraid to stay and try to help him. No, this isn't a matter of heroics, but there is something in the training that a nurse receives that keeps her from saving her own life at the cost of another. And right now I'm speaking as Anne Burton, registered nurse, and not as a potential air hostess, although their duty is exactly the same.
Well, that seems to settle it, Morgan. We stick it out and see if Anne can cure this fellow. If she can, all well and good.
And if she can't?
And if she can't, we battle this thing out together.
Okay, Baker. That must be Joe getting back here now.
Now, Morgan, you're quite sure that Kobu didn't have his throat injured in some way in the raid that took place when the Doc took over the diamond mines?
No, he had a voice as good as anybody. Until he took a look around, and then he saw what the Doc's boys had done to his folks. You know, for butting in on Doc taking these mines away from those two old codgers.
You didn't happen to be around at that time, did you?
Hey, what's the idea, gorgeous? Trying to get some information out of me?
Well, Ann, here you are.
Fine.
And did I have a time trying to dig that stuff up? I didn't get it at any of them places you told me. I asked a fellow on the street, and it just happened that he was an American. He said I'd get it at a chemist, and that's right where I got it.
Oh, this is it, Joe. I'd forgotten the excitement to ask if you had any money.
That's all right. Guy asked me how much I wanted, and I didn't know, so I said about $1 worth. And that's what he gave me, except that he made it shillings. Is that the stuff?
That's it, all right. I wasn't sure that they would have it here.
Well, what is it, Ann? Just looks like a bunch of little doodads that you might ornament a dress or something.
That's what I told that chemist guy. But he said this was what the note called for, so I didn't argue.
Let's get back to what we were talking about, Morgan. I wasn't trying to worm any information out of you to give to any authorities, as you seem to think. What I'm trying to do is to get as complete a case history on Kobu as I can. And if you know, you'll help me. And yourself, too, by telling me.
Well, why don't you ask Kobu himself? He can write out the answers and tell you what you want to know.
The best portion of this thing we're going to try is the surprise element. And we don't want Kobu to think anything but that this cure, if we manage it, is the result of his witch doctor. I think that you'll find it'll be a good idea if you want to be friendly with the natives.
Oh, she's right, Morgan. If she manages this thing, there's nothing these boys won't do for us. And if you keep still and she fails, well, you know what that means.
Okay. Anything to quiet those drums. You wanted to know if I was around when Kobu found he couldn't talk, huh?
Yes, I did. Just what happened.
You mean to his folks?
No, you can skip that part of it. Just what happened to Kobu.
Well, our boys, that is our natives, I cleaned out the tribe that was living near the diamond mine, see? And Doc and me and a couple of other guys that were in the party were just coming up to sort of straighten things up. When here comes this Kobo out of the jungle, where he'd been hunting, see? He didn't know anything about this little skirmish, and he looked sort of dazed. And then he made a beeline to his folks' hut. He took one look inside, saw what was left there, and then turned around and opened his mouth to give out a hideous yell, see? And no sound came out.
But how do you know that he could talk before, Morgan?
Well, we'd seen him before, while he was spying on the village, see? He would yell across from one hill to the other. There must have been a mile and a half. You never heard such a voice. But after that, he seemed like he was trying, but he couldn't make any noise.
That's what I was trying to find out. It's just exactly what I thought it was. A form of laryngitis that comes from hysteria. Usually you'll find it in infants, where it sometimes takes the form of holding their breath. But now and then you'll find a case where a shock will cause it in a grown-up, and it becomes a sort of a neurosis. At least I'm hoping that's what it is.
Well, I thought it might be that his throat muscles had become paralyzed.
There's a good chance of that, Jack. And in that case, well, we'll be right back where we started. But I'm going to try this anyhow.
Just what are those things, anyhow? They look like some of those charms that the witch doctors give the natives, like little tassels. You're sure you're not going in for that kind of stuff, are you?
Hardly, Mr. Morgan, but you've certainly given me an idea. Joe, you bring Kobo out here, and we'll have him sit right here in the shade.
Well, don't you think it'd be better, Ann, to take him into the hangar or somewhere where the natives that are hiding in the woods won't be able to see what you're doing?
I would rather work right out here where they can see us. They're suspicious enough as it is. And there's another reason, as you'll find out soon enough. Go ahead, Joe.
Okay, Ann, I'll bring him out here in a jiffy.
Now, when he brings him out, I'm going to tell him what I'm going to do. I'm going to make it as impressive as possible, and I want both of you to help, just as I ask you. And don't be surprised at anything.
Hey, what are you going to do with those funny little tassels? Hang them around his neck?
I'm going to tell him they're a sort of a charm, just as you suggested. I don't think that he's learned about these in school, and if he hasn't, the surprise should do the work.
Where do you want him, Ann?
Kobo, I want you to sit down in that chair. The White Angel is going to try to send away the gods of silence and bring you back the power of speech. Do you understand?
You'd better tell him if this is going to be painful, Ann.
You will not have to write down your answers, Kobo. Just shake your head if you understand. Now, give me your notebook, the book that has been your tongue for many moons, and the pencil, too. No more will you need these false tongues, Kobo. So...
Gosh, she busted his pencil. I hope she knows what she's doing.
Morgan, give me your lighter. Now, Kobo, you see the White Angel give this false tongue to the flames.
Ann, aren't you carrying this too far? If this doesn't work...
Jack, hand me that small rock. That's it. Now, Kobo, here is one of the charms that the White Angel has to put the god of silence to flight. It is here in this little piece of blue woven cloth. But before I can use this charm, I must know one thing. Are you willing to stand great discomfort in order that your speech will return?
Hey, she ought to be an actress.
That is good, Kobo. This will not hurt you. In this charm is concealed the great spirit of amyl nitrate that will try to rid your throat of the evil gods of silence. But when I release the spirit of the amyl nitrate, you must breathe deeply, that the spirit may reach the silence. Do you understand?
Amyl nitrate? No wonder. I thought I'd seen things like that before.
The amyl nitrate will seem to choke you. So great will be his anger at the evil gods of silence. But if you help, he will overcome the silence. Then once more can speak like other men. Are you ready, Kobo? Remember, you must breathe deeply.
Boy, if this don't work.
Now, I place the charm in my handkerchief like this. I break the little glass capsule that holds the spirit of amyl nitrate. Now, breathe, Kobo. Breathe. Hold it here, Jack. That's it. No, Kobo. You must breathe it. That's it. Hold it there.
What's that I smell? Like garlic or something.
That's the amyl nitrate, Joe. That's what was in those little cloth-covered capsules you brought back. Is he still breathing the stuff, Ann?
I think so. Yes, he is. That ought to be enough. Now, Kobo, let's see if the evil spirits of silence have gone.
Hey, he looks as big as a house when he stretches out of that chair. But I wonder if he can... Hey, what's the matter with that guy? Is he going crazy?
Kobo, come back here. Kobo, what's the matter?
He just stood up, worked his mouth for a second, and then ran. Oh, Jack, do you suppose that I failed after all?
I don't know, Ann, but you certainly tried. Which way did he go, Joe?
I don't know, but I'll find out.
Well, gorgeous, I'll say that you made a swell play at that. What was that spirit of amyl nitrate stuff you were giving him, huh?
That was the stuff that was in the cloth-covered ampule, amyl nitrate. They use it to bring people out of fainting spells for some kinds of heart trouble, and sometimes it works in the case of hysteric laryngitis. There's a little glass vial inside the cover like this one here. I just broke that and held it under his nose.
Hey, listen. There goes Cobra's drums. Well, sister, it looks like it's curtains for us. Our little idea must have failed, huh?
Oh, Jack and I tried so hard.
Take it easy, Ed. After all, it was only a chance. You're up against too many odds, and the cards were stacked against you, that's all. But I would have thought that Kobu would have stayed around instead of running and broadcasting the thing over that drum just to try to bring his finish a little closer.
Yeah, and instead of that, he just stood up. Worked his lips for a second like he was going to say something, then changed his mind and let out. Hey, listen to that drum. He's worse than all the rest. Hey, Joe. Hey, what's the matter with the guy? Has he gone completely batty because he lost his voice?
He's gone completely batty, all right.
I suppose that'll bring the natives out of the hills any time now. If I'd only been able to help him recover his voice.
Hey, Ann, what are you talking about? The only reason that you can't hear Cobra yelling clear over here is because he's drowning himself out with his own drum. And can he yell? You can't hear him, but he's yelling, Cobra, speak! Cobra, speak!
Once more, a simple remedy of modern science has worked a seeming miracle. Will this happening have any bearing on the future of Ann Burton and Jack Baker? Will Kobu be able to repay Ann for the gift of speech that she has given him? Perhaps we shall learn about these things as we plunge deep into the heart of the African jungle in our next episode of Ann of the Airlanes.